Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today, we go racing in the Truck Series, Xfinity Series, as well as the Cup Series, and we have a brand new track on the Cup Series schedule today at WWT Raceway, also known as Gateway. So, very excited to bring that one to you guys here in just a few moments' time. But of course, we have both the Trucks and Xfinity races to get out of the way before we can get into the Cup Series at Gateway. So we come through into the truck series here where we were at Texas Motor Speedway with subscriber Alexander Lay behind the truck for us here today. Now, as we didn't have the greatest starting position here in Texas, we have actually won this at this track in the truck series multiple times before. Since we've started owning a team in trucks, but unfortunately a poor qualifying lap set Alexander a little bit down the field here, so he was on the outside trying to find a way to the bottom, and it definitely wasn't looking good for us here so far. So we've had a couple races recently where we usually expect to go win races like Kansas Speedway and now Texas Speedway or Texas Motor Speedway, and we have a bit of a rough qualifying effort setting us back. So that was the exact same situation here again tonight at Texas now, as Alexander was looking for an opportunity to get down to that bottom lane here, as you see him 3 wide through the trioval there at the end of this first lap here as he was going down into turns 1 looking for that chance, and it was pretty late until he got that opportunity. He finally comes through a little bit later, and just now getting to the inside as he came through to turns 4, and he was not wasting any time. Makes it 4 wide on the exit of turns 4 down this front stretch, and he was all of a sudden moving his way forwards pretty quickly, but was unfortunately just running out of time. So we come through to the final lap of this race, and now he had moved up towards the top 10 at least, but just not enough, of course, for victory due to that rough qualifying effort starting way down the field, and being stuck on the outside didn't help either. So we come through out of turns 4. Alexander Lay comes through to cross the lane at least inside the top 10, so still nonetheless a strong effort here of P8 as Brett Holmes picks up the victory over Riley Herbst. Drew Dollar, Grant Enfinger, as well as Austin Hill would round out the top 5. Corey Heim there rounding out the top 10 as you look through the rest of the order on your screen. Natalie Decker down there in P21. I might actually be moving her up to Xfinity shortly. I've seen her doing some Xfinity races in real life, so I might make her move up into Xfinity some point throughout this season here in the career mode. Now, as we come through into Texas once again, this time for the Xfinity series now, as you see some of the drivers that are looking pretty strong, or I guess not strong. Riley Herbst having a very rough practice session, but there you see who was on pole. It will be AJ Allmendinger, as Paul Menard now had a decent qualifying effort. It wasn't the greatest. He actually had a bit of a rough lap as well, so he was just like Alexander Lay in the truck series, stuck on the outside as we went down into turns 1. So once again, you gotta find a way to the bottom as quickly as you can if you want any chance to do anything at Texas Motor Speedway. Fortunately for us on the Cup Series side of things, we don't have Texas today, but we do have Texas on the schedule. But the best part about it is we only have to go there one time this season with that modded schedule now. As you saw, Paul was actually 4 wide for a brief moment going into turn 3 now at the inside there as it came through out of turn 4, just making some moves on this inside. He was able to get down there a lot quicker than than we were in the truck series, and he was making up a good chunk of ground here in the opening laps. But unfortunately, once again, just like the truck series, was running out of time to really get up towards the front of this pack, as Rajah Caruth was leading the way now as we came through to the final lap of the Xfinity series race. Now, Paul was actually falling off big time. He was now under pressure from the 9 car of Sheldon Creed down this back straightaway there. And the 21 in time, Majeski was trying to get to the inside as well as to go down into turn 3. Paul clear for the moment, but sent it off so deep into the corner that it left the door wide open for the 9 of Creed to get through. And then, sure enough, Majeski to the inside as they come through to the line. Majeski gets Menard at the line, and Rajah Caruth comes through to win his second Xfinity Series race here in his rookie season for Joe Gibbs Racing. So Christian Eckes, of course, a driver that's been at Joe Gibbs Racing, won the championship last season in the Xfinity Series. He had a strong season with some wins, but Rajah Caruth is off to a very good start, probably one of the best starts we've seen for a JGR driver in the Xfinity Series in recent memory here, at least in the career mode now, as we come through into the Cup Series for today's episode. Now at the new track, Gateway, finally on the modded schedule. We have the NZXT paint scheme back on the car. I really didn't know what to expect. I've done a league race here in the Nitro Racing League at Gateway one time, but that's all the experience I have, and it was a completely different situation, of course, with how we run those races. So so I didn't know how the car was going to drive. I went with preset number 6. That was what I felt was going to be the best for us. Now, as we came through, though, coming through to cross the line, at least with a 32.758, which beat our goal, and we qualify P9 here at Gateway. So a top 10 qualifying effort was actually very surprising to myself as we look through the rest of the order. So on pole, it's Daniel Hemrick for Penske in that 12 car, Kyle Busch, Harrison Burton, Denny Hamlin, and Zane Smith round out your top 5. Haley Deegan up there in the top 10. She's had a rough start to the season so far, as well as pretty much all of Stuart Haas Racing other than Matt DiBenedetto. As you look through the rest of that order, Anthony Alfredo on the 21 down there in P30, Derek Kraus in that second 23-11 car down in P33, and Brandon Jones and CJ McLaughlin at the very bottom of the field as we get ready to take the green flag here at Gateway. Alright boys, it's been an interesting season. I mean, we come in here tonight, we have absolutely no idea what's going to happen, so it's either going to go really well or really bad, so let's hope it goes on the good side. And there you hear myself on the radio, and I said it's either going to go really well or really bad. I mean, that's just the way it's going to be tonight. We have basically no experience here. We've done a truck race in the career mode here one time. Now, as we do truck race every season, of course, in the career mode. You see Daniel Hemrick on pole with that fire symbol as well, meaning that he should be pretty fast, so be aware of what that 12 car could do here today as Hemrick looks to get his first ever Cup Series win. And with Penske Racing now as we're ready to take the green flag from the 9th starting position, the green flag is out, and finally for the first time on the new modded schedule, we are underway at a brand new track to the schedule here as we go down into turns 1 to Hemrick and Kyle Busch side by side. I saw Denny Hamlin kind of peek out, makes it 3 wide actually, as there's some contact with our rival of Joey Logano as we come through out of turns 2, but nonetheless a very strong first corner there as we are up the inside of our affiliate teammate of William Byron, 3 wide with him, as well as our actual teammate of Kyle Larson in that 5 car. Kyle Larson probably been the strongest Hendrick Motorsports car so far this season, as I would say we're probably the second best, and that's not really saying much. We've been struggling a lot along with Chase Elliott again and Alex Bowman in that 48 as Larson gets clear though down the front straightaway, so we drop down into P8 there on the exit of turns 4, but we still gain 1 spot on this opening lap. But the driver of Daniel Hemrick who got the pole drops from 1st to P6 in 1 lap, and now we pass Larson who's stuck behind Hemrick, and now we're going to get up the inside of the 12. So Hemrick clearly doesn't have near the amount of speed that we expected based off of what it was saying in the pre-race where he qualified on pole and had that fire symbol, but clearly there is no speed whatsoever in that 12 car. So we come through to clear him and move up now into 6th place, but Kyle Larson, he was very fast in these opening couple of laps now, because now as we came through to start this 3rd lap down into turns 1, he is going to close up right to the back of me here in the braking zone now as we really for the first time this season, other than the road course at Sonoma, we actually have to use the brakes here. So definitely a bit different for us now, as we haven't had to really just slam on the brakes into a corner to actually get through the corner well. We've just been at these 1.5 and whatnot, just these larger tracks where it hasn't been an issue. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see a driver like Lewis Hamilton come out today and actually run pretty well now as we come through out of turns 4. Then we were trying to put the pressure on the back of the 4 car to get past here, and I was struggling all of a sudden. The grip was starting to go away in this car, and that allowed my rival of Joey Logano to actually get to us down into turns 1. He was not wasting any time. He gives the bumper to us, sails us off into the corner. Logano goes sideways, saves it, but we got clear of Deegan, but we got sent so far into the corner that she's just going to cross us over and clear us down the back straightaway. So now we're trying to get back past that 4 car once again, but Logano, like I said, did not waste any time. He got to the back of me, just sent me into the corner. Thankfully, he didn't wreck me, but now already within the next lap here, he is to the back of me once again as we come through the turns 4. He gets into the back of me right there. Some more contact with the quarter panel, but he gets along my right side now as we go down towards turns 1 with 4 laps to go in stage 1. Now as Logano again goes sideways through the corner. This time we nearly hit there, but fortunately we stay out of it now as we would once again run down Haley Deegan. But you can see now out of turns 4, my grip in this car is just non-existent all of a sudden, and then Joey Logano gets to me once again with 3 laps to go side by side with Brian Kozlowski down into turns 1. Logano just sends me into turns 1. We sail it off into the corner. He goes sideways again, and look how much time we're going to lose this time. Kozlowski, Almirola, as well as Ryan Blaney in the 7 car, they're all going to go by on the inside. We drop down to P10, and I don't know what was going on other than Logano running into me. I had just no grip all of a sudden. After about 7 laps, 6-7 laps, the grip went from about 100 to maybe 10. It was non-existent in this car. So clearly I was very well aware that we chose the wrong preset coming into this race. We come through to the final lap now in stage 1, and you can see how much time time I was losing so quickly, and now the 82 Red Bull car of Christian Eckes, the rookie, is running me down. You can just see how much I'm slipping and sliding out of turns 2. I'm barely hanging onto the car, and now the 82 gets to my outside. Logano comes through as well. We're going to be 3 wide potentially, but now to stay 2 wide as we go down into turn 3. I braked early. I said I don't even want to mess with the 22 here. I can barely hang onto the car. You saw me turning right going into the corner. Now as I'm just slipping all over the place as we come through out of turns 4, and once again we lose the back of the car. We actually hit the outside safer barrier, and the caution comes out though to end stage 1 thankfully, and we cross the line for P12 here in the first stage. I don't know what happened, but the car is horrible after about 7 laps, guys. We gotta pit. I don't care if they stay out. We gotta bring it in and just make a huge adjustment. There you hear myself on the radio. You see everybody staying out with Harrison Burton coming into the pit lane. You see me go very, very big on the adjustments on this car. We put the wedge up from 50.0 to 50.5. I cranked the tire pressures to the left, hoping that the car is just not going to be as loose on the long run. Now, as these stages are very short here in Gateway, they're only 10 laps now in Stage 1 and Stage 2. But there you see the rest of the running order. Eric Jones in the McLaren, 2 laps down. He's still in the race. So now we'll just be 1 lap down. Daniel Hermick, actually, though, all of a sudden would DNF from the race, so he is out. And as we come through now to start the second stage here at Gateway, of course, it is now time to get amped here at Gateway. There you have the amp segment here from Gateway now, as we've been making up a bunch of positions on this restart for the start of the second stage, just passing that 44 of Lewis Hamilton now on the outside of Tyler Reddick now, as he's behind his Chip Ganassi Racing teammate of Noah Gragson. But we have a ton of short run speed in this car. Honestly, I feel like we're easily on the short run within the first 5 laps of a run. We're a top 5 car, no doubt at all now, as we were just continuing to march our way throughout this field. But in stage 1, you saw after about 6-7 laps, the grip just was not there whatsoever. Wasn't like a gradual just kind of fall off. No, it just goes from like 100 to 10. It was so bad now. There's just very little grip, so it was terrifying. And only with 10 laps, by the way, in these stages, it also really leaves us not a lot of time to get ourselves going forward. So I'm doing my best, of course, to make up as many positions as we can before stage 2 ends. But now on lap 5, I was starting to once again feel that same grip situation where the grip was just going away, and all of a sudden I'm struggling to pass Timmy Hill, who's finally having a decent run here in his first season with Chip Ganassi Racing. He has actually done multiple seasons in the Cup Series. I saw people saying, like, why isn't Timmy considered a rookie in the career mode? Timmy has actually done multiple seasons in the Cup Series and a very back marker car, so he is actually quite the veteran here in the Cup Series, so that is the reason why. So we were now at the inside of Haley Deegan as we went down into turns 1, and sure enough, we make a pass right there. And now, though, as we come through to lap 8, running P12, I was hoping we could run down drivers like Brad Keselowski, Christopher Bell for that last position in stage points, and sure enough, with 2 laps to go, we were getting there. But now to turns 4 to come through to the final lap, you can see that grip just falling away, but clearly we lasted a little bit longer this time, but at the same time, we did have a 4 fresh tire advantage compared to the whole field who stayed out at the end of stage 1. So my concerns were really starting to build, and we've had a very rough season so far here in the career mode. Things have been going so wrong. We've had a couple races where we just were able to get at least top 10s, but that's really it. And now here we are again tonight, struggling as we go down into turn 3 on this final lap in stage 2. So stage 1, no stage points, and now I'm slipping and sliding through the center of the corner as we exit turns 4. Ryan Priest, last episode's winner, gets right to the back bumper of myself, and as we come through down the front straightaway, we cross the line here in the 12th position. So the concerns continue to build here as this season that's been going very rough so far continues over into tonight now as Harrison Burton sweeps stage 1 and stage 2. At the same time, I am not surprised whatsoever by Gateway being a track where we're really struggling, because we haven't come here ever in a cup car. So I had no idea how the car was going to drive, and clearly I chose a preset that was way too loose, and now you can see me once again making even more adjustments on this car, just hoping that something is going to work going into this third and final stage, which is going to be so important here as you see the rest of the finishing order in stage 2. Daniel Suarez is currently P29 for the Going Racing car. Eric Jones is going to get the lucky dog in the McLaren, so he is now going to be back on the lead lap as we gain 2 spots on the pit lane and then move up into P10 here for the start of stage 3. So this could be a good opportunity for us to now focus on moving forwards. We've made some crucial adjustments in this car, or at least hopefully they're going to work. We have no idea right now if these adjustments are going to help us and go in the right direction, or maybe they're going to go in the wrong direction. We're probably going to have a good idea in about 10 laps time when we get to about lap 37 or so here as we come through out of turns 2 side by side here with Ryan Blaney in that McLaren 7 car. Now as we clear him down the back straightaway, I've seen some people mentioning we should do different paint schemes for the McLarens to kind of separate them a little bit. I am going to keep that in mind and potentially get a new paint scheme specifically for Ryan Blaney, but still try to at least keep the McLaren vibe with those cars now as we come through down this front stretch, completing this first and opening lap of stage 3 up the inside of Matt DiBenedetto. Now it's forcing it 3 wide with Christopher Bell, as well as the 43 of Eric Almirola now as Harrison Burton leads over the rookie of Christian Eckes. Christian Eckes having a great rookie season so far here in the Cup Series now as we clear that 20 of Christopher Bell as we go down into turn 3 behind Eric Almirola now, and behind us a 20 of Bell actually goes for a huge slide into the corner, saves it, but loses a ton of track position now as we run P8. We did make a little bit of contact in turns 1 and 2, but I was very surprised that it might have affected him there into turn 3 now as we came through though on lap 30, and the struggles were already starting to kick in as we went down into turns 1. You can just see me struggling so hard here. The stability in the car was just not good, and now as we came through out of turns 2, we got the 7 of Ryan Blaney up my inside, and he is going to pass us. He's had a rough season so far as well in his debut season with the McLaren Racing team after doing so many seasons with Penske, and here he is finally tonight having a good run. But now on lap 32, Matt DiBenedetto saw a little bit of a hole open up. He takes full advantage, and you can see the grip in the car once again slipping away now as Harrison Burton, the leader, was now under pressure from not only Christian Eckes, but as well Joey Logano was climbing up towards that front battle there, so he was trying to get up in the mix. But now 3 wide behind myself between Sam Mayer, Anthony Alfredo, as well as Ryan Priest, but I am losing all the grip in this car, and I was very concerned specifically with 18 laps of fuel left in the car, and it was about 19 laps to go. So I was thinking, you know what, we're probably going to save enough fuel, and we will make it to the end of this race, and my right rear tire was wearing like crazy. So now the concerns are even larger that I'm not even going to make it to the end without blowing a tire, as we now drop down to P12 here down the front straightaway, which isn't the worst run in the world as the caution actually comes out though with 18 laps to go, and everybody is going to be coming into the pit lane, and now this is our opportunity to maybe get something to go in our right direction. So I decide once again to come in for 4 tires and even more adjustments on this car. I was expecting the AI to either take no tires or 2 tires here. I knew that was going to happen. I said, you know what, that's not going to help me whatsoever if I take what they take, so I decided we have to, no matter what, put 4 tires on this car and just, of course, fill it up with fuel to make sure we're going to be okay there, as it looks like Todd Gilliland in that front row Motorsports Mercedes brings up the caution as we lose 22 positions and drop to P34, but I guarantee you, if we took 2 tires, we were probably going to be down in 34th by the end of this race because we were struggling so bad. Now as we were back underway once again here in Gateway, midway through this third and final stage of what has been a very, very big struggle for us so far, as Harrison Burton is side by side with Christian Eckes into turns 1. I set it up the outside here, making it 3 wide around Bubba Wallace, who's having a rough night here in Gateway. Bubba's been struggling lately here in the career mode. Hopefully we can see him get out of that slump and move forwards and potentially pick up that first career win that he has been looking for in the career mode now as we dive down into turn 3 on the outside of the 26 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. hasn't been the season he was looking for either now, as Roush Fenway as a whole has been struggling a little bit still as we come through down this front stretch, already up into P23 at the end of this first lap. Now as we dive up the inside of our teammate of Chase Elliott, we are closing in towards the top 20 position. Up ahead, Lewis Hamilton 3 wide with Alex Bowman as well as Haley Deegan, as you saw Derek Cross in that 2311 car slip through on the inside now as we're up the inside of Bowman. And sure enough, Hamilton now having a pretty good run here in that Mercedes car as we go down into turns 3. So I said, you know what, now that there's more braking involved, that can really play into a guy like Hamilton now, and sure enough, he is definitely having a decent run here, as we were now making a pass on the outside though of William Byron, and even to the outside of Brad Keselowski as we come through out of turns 4. And now once we complete this pass on Brad with 11 laps to go in this race, we move back up into P12, which is where we were when that last caution came out. Now, though, do we have enough time to run down these front drivers in front of us like Sam Mayer, Kyle Busch? Yes, we do. On lap 43, we had run down Sam Mayer, who's having a very strong run, another rookie here in the series, along with Lewis Hamilton, Christian Eckes, Haley Deegan as well. And sure enough, we go up the inside of Sam Mayer into turns 3 on lap 44. Less than 10 laps to go. Joey Logano had now taken the lead away from Harrison Burton, who's dominated this whole race, led the whole race, swept the first 2 stages. And now on lap 45, though, the grip once again slipping away in this car, and I was just so baffled at this point now. Sam Mayer up my inside, but we've done so many adjustments to this car. Let me know in the comments if I was doing the right adjustments, if you guys know more about setups, because I thought I was doing the right things to keep this car from slipping and sliding later in the run, but nothing was working now. As we come down lap 47, you can see how far they're driving away from me. The cars behind 13th on back, they are running me down so quick now as we came through out of turns 4. Logano continuing to lead the way, and I am having to back the pace down so much, but with 6 to go, coming to 5 to go, the caution comes out again, and now this is going to force a 2-lap dash here at Gateway as you look at that current running order now in this third and final stage. So Joey Logano, Harrison Burton, Christian Eckes, Danny Hamlin, Eric Almirola in the 43 car for Richard Petty Motorsports rounds out the top 5. As now, unfortunately for us, we're going to be stuck on the outside, as we know the grip is falling away in this car very quick. So the concerns were very high going into this final restart now as we're back on the way, and I nearly spin the car out on the restart because there was no grip. I have never had that happen here in the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode now as we go down into turns 1 behind Kyle Busch, now trying to protect over these guys behind us now as Derek Kraus is up our inside as we exit turns 2. Right there, the car tries to get away from us. We slip and slide battle now up our inside. Hamilton behind us, 3 wide up the inside now with Brad Keselowski in that number 41 car for Stuart Haas Racing as we send it off into turns 3. We're going to go for a bit of a drift through turns 3. Now a power slide, and we managed to hang on to the car. We're still sliding as we come through to turn 4. Hamilton goes by on the inside in the Mercedes now as we come through to start the final lap here in Gateway in what has been a disastrous race for us now as Alfredo is up our inside as we send it off into turns 1 again. A bit of a drift here as we come through the center of the corner now as we come through out of turns 2. The 21 gets ahead of us, and we are just falling down the order so quick. I have absolutely nothing left in this car. Logano leads the way down into turn 3. Keselowski gets in front as we send it off into 3 and 4 for the final time. One more drift because, I mean, I just can't keep the car straight now, as we would be doing great if we were in some type of Gymkhana drift competition right now as we exit turns 4. Gregson gets us, Elliott gets us, as well as we come through to cross the line in a disastrous final 2 laps of this race. And now the panic button for our team with Hendrick Motorsports has been hit for sure as the struggles continue. Joey Logano picks up the victory over the rookie of Christian Eckes as Harrison Burton falls to P3. Really no words to describe what went wrong in that race, and at the end of the day, I mean, I thought we were struggling really hard when we were running like P12, which was, I guess, a good sign, but now we fall down to P19 at the end of this race. This one, like I said, multiple times. Suarez, by the way, rebounds to P26 for a decent finish for him in the Go1 racing car. But I said multiple times throughout this episode, I said this is going to be a race where we really didn't know what to expect. And I went with preset 6. I guess, obviously, I went too far with that. The car was so loose. And obviously, after we started the race, I couldn't change it. So we actually are still in the top 10 in points. But, I mean, the points are so close kind of in the area we are at right now that we could easily, with one terrible race, I mean, with a big crash or something, could fall down to like 14th or something like that. So an interesting season so far, and next episode we will be going to Kansas, so hopefully that's a good opportunity for us to get things turned around. But as well, in the next episode, the NASCAR Legends Series returns for race number 2. Ryan Ryan Newman picked up the first win in that series, where we have content creators like WinVow, Moonhead, David Schildhouse, Joey Stone all involved as well. It's going to be interesting to see how they do. Moonhead was the best of the content creators in race number one. Joey Stone was second. Schildhouse was the third best, and then WinVow actually finished right towards the back of the field. So it's going to be interesting to see how they all do. As you see currently, the point standings for the other series. So we go to Bristol here in the Xfinity series next up. So very excited to see how that goes for Paul Menard, as well as Kansas in the Cup Series. So that's a track hopefully where we can start to really get something going. We probably won't be really right in the mix for the win there, but I think we can get a strong top 10 and kind of turn things around, like I've said multiple times this season now, but hopefully I mean it this time. And in the next one after Kansas, by the way, we do go to Road America, so another new track on the schedule. If you guys enjoyed, though, you know what to do. I would like to thank you all for taking the time of your day to watch this episode. There you see the next few tracks, but of course I would like to say thank you to the Going Racing members here on the channel of MJ, Joseph 9001, Timothy Arline, Bubba Jr., Brett Durward, Dark Gengar Gaming, AJ Vasur, Dana 9302, as well as Russell Dixon. You guys help me out so much, and I really do appreciate the continued support every month that you guys decide to support my channel. So I'll see you guys though in the next one. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.